888. 1-800-449-8686. This is the Phil Hendry Show.
Tomorrow night.
Ted's of Beverly Hills Steakhouse. Come on down.
This is Ted Bell from Ted's of Beverly Hills. You know, coming up in just a couple of weeks is Father's Day. Bring Dad down for a juicy steak at Ted's of Beverly Hills. We're in the phone book.
Here at Ted's, we want to put our meat in your...
Ted Bell with us. Your son just turned 7, right?
He did, Phil. Josh is 7 years old. If you could hold... I'm sorry, Phil. I'm on the air right now. Yeah. I'm sorry. Doing a little bit of business here. My son Josh just turned 7, and of course, as I was saying to you, I'm very excited about it for a lot of reasons. I think fathers are shut out. The raising of their kids, you know. And
why do you think that is? I mean, I've heard that said, and I agree with it to a point.
Well, I think there's two reasons. Fathers are traditionally busy. Mothers have increasingly taken over the raising of sons with the attitude, well, really all a child needs is a mother. And Phil, I am here to tell you that what a boy needs, well, I think what all children need, but especially a boy is his father.
Now, he's 7.
Just turned 7, yeah.
And that's the age where they say, you know, when a kid is kind of coming out from under his mom's wing?
Well, you know, all the books that I've read, you know, they say that that's the age where he sort of, is off of mommy's apron strings, and that the father should get more involved. And
how does your wife feel about it? I guess most moms and wives would enjoy seeing a father get involved.
Well, Marcy, you know, I love my wife, and a better mother for my kids I couldn't find, but she tends to be like a lot of women. I think she's overly protective of the kid. I had Josh with me. This is interesting. We had last Saturday together. And I wanted to spend the day with Josh, and I just purchased the new Mustang. It's the 4.6 liter engine, the V8, and I wanted to have some guy time with my son. And across Bedford, as we're driving from the house, across Bedford, coming out of a park, is a bunch of ducks. Okay, and these ducks are walking across. You can see the mother duck, these little ducklings. Walking across the street, and I said to Josh, now watch this, and watch the ducks scatter, because the ducks will fly like birds do. And I opened it up. I opened up the car wide open for about 100 feet toward the ducks. And what happened was, there could be poison in the pond over there. The ducks might be ill or something, whatever it was, but they didn't move. They just sort of turned and looked at me, and I looked at them, and by now the car is right on him, and man, we ran right through him. And I looked in the rearview mirror, and there had been 6 or 7 of them just smashed, flattened on the road. And, you know...
Did that scare you? It must have scared your son.
Well, wait, hold on, because this is something I'm a believer in. Every father needs to take back your son from the mother.
Wait a minute, you ran over these ducks, though.
Well, here's what happened. He started to cry. Now, the mothers today, they've been sort of inculcated with this post-70s feminism that's hostile to men as fathers. So this hostility toward men as fathers makes the young boy who needs to be with his father, it makes him suspicious of anything that a father does. So I'm looking at a boy, and I hope someday this child runs, you know, I hope that Josh someday takes over the restaurant. And he's crying because he has spent too much time with his mothers. I turned the car around, and we had a whole day planned. We were going to Santa Monica Pier. I was going to show him the fishing boats. We were going to go have lunch. And I said, you know what? Your mother's ruined this day.
I want to get back to the fact, though, Ted, that you ran over these ducks, that they were coming across the street.
Well, the thing you need to understand, I'm the victim here, too. Okay, I raced the car toward these ducks, and any reasonable person is going to expect them to fly away, because that's what they do. And instead, because they were either sick or stupid or something, you know, they sort of stand there and they invite death. And
did you feel bad for your son when he started to cry?
Well, what happened was I did what most of us do. I started laughing, okay? I started laughing my tail off, and then I saw Josh start to cry, and I said to him, you know what, I thought you were a big boy. So I turned the car.
See, to me, I don't know if that's the way to deal with that.
Phil, let me tell you something. You've got stepkids. This is my own flesh and blood. You drive your car. I got a brand-new Mustang. Josh was excited to be in it. He wanted to be in Daddy's new car. I said, take a look at this, Josh, as I saw these ducks. I did not intend to hurt the ducks. but because of some kind of pollution in the pond, they didn't fly.
And it was a mother duck and chicklings, or ducklings, don't they? Are they not?
No, they can fly as soon as they're out of the egg. They can fly as soon. They see, one of the things is the animal rights people want you to believe that every time a human kills an animal, it's cold-blooded murder. It's a revisiting of the Holocaust of Europe. And I am sick and tired of that. Now, I said to my son, watch this. I raced toward them. I did not want to hurt the ducks. They didn't fly away. I thought they were going to. I looked in the rearview mirror. There had to be about 7 or 8 of them that weren't moving anyway. And so I did what any reasonable person would do. I started to laugh. And there's my son, my flesh and blood, crying. And so...
Well, there's a lot going on. You're talking about the animal rights people and...
Well, they victimized fathers, Phil. These mothers and these animal rights people are victimizing us. And that's really what I want to say to your audience. As a successful businessman, I know you have me on once a week to talk about issues. As a man who runs my own restaurant, one of the most successful restaurants in America, look, I'm Ted Bell. I have a successful business, and I've got a son whose mother has turned him soft. And I said to my son, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to turn the car around, and we'll take you back to Nana. Is that what you want? And he's crying. I've got to spend more time with my son.
All right, 1-800-449-8686, The Phil Hendrie Show. 1-800-449-8686 with Ted Bell talking about parenting and sons, fathers and sons. I believe, as you do, that a father should spend lots of time with his kids. They should not allow themselves to be cut out of the raising of their children if they're reasonable people. If they're insane, or there's a restraining order, they're not, married, or they're divorced. I'm talking about the fathers that live at home.
Well, yeah, no, there's a lot, I agree with you. I totally agree with you in terms of there's a lot of these guys that have been divorced by their wives, and they use the kids as an excuse to get to the wife. They say they want to spend more time with the kid, but in point of fact, what they want to do is just stay in touch with the ex-wife. It's pretty sick. No, I'm talking about wanting my son to become, I have a dream that my son Josh someday will be standing where I am, talking to the customers, serving the customers, running Ted's in Beverly Hills. I have a brand new Camaro that he wanted to be in the car. So that's another thing. That's not my fault. He asked to be in the car. See, I'm the victim here too, and I tried to tell my wife that.
How did she respond when you got home?
Well, I told her, I said, this is what you've done. And I grabbed my golf bag and I said, to heck with it. I threw it in the trunk of the car and I took off. And I said...
So you did not spend time with your son?
No, because his mother has been... What happens is this. The kids become feminized to a point. I said, let's have some fun, and I did something that a guy does. I raced a Mustang at a bunch of ducks. I did not want to kill them. Everything that I've read, they should have flown away. I looked in the rearview mirror. I saw that there were about 5 or 6 of them not moving, and it was an immediate reaction that I had. I started to laugh hysterically, and I realized I probably...
See, that's the thing there, man. I mean, I don't know whether that's a common reaction. Running over a bunch, especially little baby ducks.
Oh, come on, will you? They're supposed to fly. The point is that my son is crying. He does, and...
A little boy, can I say something? Little kids identify with animals.
Phil, you look at, do you have any kids of your own?
I've got stepkids.
Okay, so please, he's crying. This is the thing you're trying to get him not to do. You're trying to get him to take it as a man and see life in context. Did a human being die? No. Were there humans? No. It was a duck. For God's sake, the animal activists have turned us into guilt-ridden individuals that cannot walk out of our front door in the morning without having some sort of a nervous, spastic colon diarrhea over any ill thought that we may have toward an animal. Now, these are not...
Yeah, but as I said, little children identify with...
But again, I have to ask you, do you have kids of your own?
I don't think... I've got stepkids.
Well, you've got to be a father to understand this is not rational. I did what any rational man would do. I saw some ducks walking across the street. I had my car. I aimed for them, thinking they would fly away. They looked up at me about as stupid as the day is long, and before I could break...
I was going to ask you, why didn't you break?
I got a brand spanking... Why didn't I break? I got a 2005 Mustang, okay? I got the thing opened up. I'm not about to lock the brakes up and send me and my son through a windshield for a duck. So I had no choice. The last thing I saw was a duck looking at me with about the dumbest look on its face you ever saw in your life. And I felt the car sort of pass over them, and I began, I looked at Josh, and I started laughing. I said, hey, and he's crying. I look in the rearview mirror. So,
all right, hold on. For the father's dilemma about too much time with Mom. He finally had some time with his son, his 7-year-old son, Josh, and they were going to have a whole day together. Ted was, I guess they were driving off to Santa Monica. As they're going down the street, they saw some ducks going across the road, so Ted aimed for them, trying to scatter them with his car, and apparently ran them over. His son started to cry, and Ted just believes that this is an example of these kids being feminized before they can get, with their fathers. 1-800-449-8686, the number here on the Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686. We'll be right back.
The Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686. Talk radio's worst nightmare. The Phil Hendry Show is back. 1-800-449-8686.
What kid's a pussy?
That's a Beverly Hills Steakhouse. Come on down.
That's the Beverly Hills featuring prime rib all day, slow roasted, slow smoked for Father's Day. We will smoke it from sunup to sundown. The best tasting prime rib you ever had. Don't believe me? Come on down to Ted's in Beverly Hills for Father's Day.
You want to put our meat in your...
And you're talking also, Ted, about your 7-year-old son, who you feel has been under the wing of his mama a little too much. But that's where little boys are, right?
Well, absolutely. And I'm not complaining that my wife has spent time with the children. What I am complaining about is I don't think that mothers necessarily prepare a little boy to become a young man. I'm having an afternoon with my son that was interrupted because his mother has, what I think, feminized him. And
now, what you call feminizing, is that expressing emotion?
No, it's not expressing emotion. I think emotion is healthy. It's expressing the wrong emotion.
Well, what was the right emotion for him to express when he saw those ducks get run over?
I think the right emotion would have been the instinct that I had, which is to laugh, and then look in the rearview mirror and say, these ducks are idiots. That they won't fly out of the way. And one of the things you have to understand is we live in the city, and the pool over here at Bedford Park, the pond, I should say, where a lot of these ducks come from, they've suspected as being polluted for a long time. And I think that whatever is in that pond has infected the ducks to the point where they got infected, like they're stupid now. Whatever infected them has made them dumb or not responding.
So that they should have flown away as you raced toward them in the Mustang?
Yes.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Rick, go ahead. You're on the Phil Hendry Show.
Me?
Yes, sir.
I just thought a couple comments about this imbecile. I'm just curious where he draws the line.
I'm an imbecile?
Duck? Yeah. If
Why
it's not a line of ducks,
you're
what
going to
about
call
if there's
me
a
a
bunch
name,
of dogs?
sir? I would call you a name. You're an imbecile.
What if there's a bunch of dogs in the street? Are you going to run over the dogs? I mean, where do you draw the line? If you draw the line at ducks, is that like that? Is that the? I am a father, by the way. I'm a father. I have 2 young boys.
Well, I think you're a bad father. There, I just called you a name.
What? Because I don't go run over ducks?
No, because you like to call names. So I'll call you. You're a lousy father.
No, I just think I think that the animal rights thing goes to a point where it's not okay to. They don't feel it's okay to operate on an animal. I disagree. I think it's helping.
Animal rights activists. We can't even have a couple of laughs anymore.
No. How is that a laugh? How is running over a duck a laugh? Look, I think you have to draw a line somewhere. You're going to step on an insect. Okay, maybe that's not such a big deal. What are you going to step on? Are you going to step on a rabbit? Are you going to step on a cat? Are you going to run over a dog? Are you going to run over a person?
It's an animal.
What? Because it doesn't mean anything. You said the duck didn't mean anything. So there's a homeless person. Does that mean nothing? Would you run over a homeless person?
Are you actually comparing a human being with a duck? I just want to be clear. I want to be clear. Well, that's what you're doing because
I'm comparing it to a dog, and you haven't answered my question about the dog. Would you run over a bunch of dogs?
No, I would not. Dogs
Why?
can't.
Why
You want to
not?
know why? Because they can't fly. Oh, man, this guy's...
But they can run, you
Well,
jackass.
wait a minute.
No, the reason why I
Dogs
aimed at
couldn't fly either.
the car, I aimed it at the ducks because they fly. Haven't you ever driven your car through a flock of birds and they fly away? Of course.
Not on purpose. Not on purpose. Maybe
Wait
I've driven through a puddle of water.
Wait a
to splash
second. Are you
somebody
telling me that
when I was 14 years old?
You stopped
15
for a
years old.
You stopped for a flock of birds? You're going to kill somebody behind you.
I didn't say no. I said I didn't aim for them. You said you specifically aimed for them. That's the,
Well,
that's
yeah,
the inherent problem here.
Let me
Is
ask you a
that you're
question.
aiming-
Hold on, let me ask you a
Your point
question
was
here.
either
Rick,
you knew you
Rick,
had
hold
two
on. I'm
choices,
going to ask
right?
you a question, man.
You knew
Hold on.
either I'm going to run these ducks over and kill them, or they're going to fly away.
All right, Rick, let me ask
One
you
of
a
them's
question.
funny. Yeah.
Ted, you said the ducks were going across the street?
They were waddling across the street, as ducks do. I don't know.
All right, so when you say you aimed at them,
Well, they were in the middle of the street.
did you have to veer your car?
No, I drove right toward them because they were in the street.
I forget.
But you were speeding toward them.
Yes.
I work in here. I don't have my. You know, that's my hope. I'm trying to.
Well, who are you talking? Wait, are you one of my waiters? I want to know. Are you one of my waiters?
If you're aiming for them,
Are
yeah,
you
run
one
the
of
most successful.
Rick?
Yeah, you run the
Rick,
most
I want to know.
successful
Are you working the
restaurant.
prime rib room tonight? You're calling on your break time, or what is going on here?
No.
You think this guy
I
works
work
for you?
I work at a Happy Finish massage parlor right now, and that's what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, sure. All right. So anyway,
Tell me exactly where do you draw the line?
well, you know what? If you want fathering lessons, I'll give you my private line. You can call me, and I'll tell you how to raise kids.
You'll tell
But
me how to raise.
I will tell you this much, Rick. This is something you need to know.
It sounds
Dogs
very,
don't
very
fly.
obvious.
Dogs
You guys-
don't fly.
What
Yeah,
is
but
this
you
with
run.
dogs
They run.
don't
They have
fly?
4 legs. They have 4
The
legs.
guy's
Ducks
trying to
ran
tell me
over
would I
have
aim for a dog. No, because a dog can't fly out of the way.
But it can run out of the way. How do you know the ducks can fly?
Oh.
How do you know the ducks can fly?
Let me
Obviously they
see.
didn't.
You know, it's a good
Obviously they
question.
didn't.
It's a good question. Wings?
They didn't. So they didn't.
No, you're right. They didn't, and I think it's because the pond they live in is polluted, and it made them. They're dumb.
You know what? And you live near the pond, right? You live near the pond?
What are you going to do? You're going to make me say that I got mercury poisoning too?
Obviously, you're the one that's polluted. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the obvious
Well, I
thing.
tell you what, you better get back to your job.
Anybody who would take their kid in their car and aim for a bunch of ducks.
You know what? You better get back to your job
Thing I've
blowing
ever
up
heard.
those dolls for those guys that need the massages.
I guarantee you can ask every father that you know to a man, and not 10% of them, not 10% of them will say that it's funny and they think it's a great idea to take their young son out on a bonding experience to run over a bunch of ducks.
Where do you score your Benzedrine, by the way?
I'm sorry?
Where do you score your speed? Because you're like this.
Okay, what, are we going to be children now?
Well, this guy's going up a mile a minute.
Well, I'm trying to get my point across.
He's trying to
You're
make
the
a
one
point.
that's interrupting.
Right, you're interrupting him.
Look it. Dogs can't fly. Ducks have wings. There, have I helped you out?
The gentleman made a very good point. Would you aim at a dog?
No, I would not.
Why not?
Why not?
Dogs don't fly.
What
God.
does that matter? What did that matter?
It means because I thought the ducks would fly out of the way.
Well, the
You thought
point
they
here,
would fly out. So you
the
didn't think
point
for a
is that
second-
you were with
didn't think
your-
for a second you were
See
going
what
to
I
run
mean?
them over. Did you think for a second that you were going to run them over?
No, because they fly.
Then why was it funny when you did?
Huh?
Wouldn't it be a bad thing? Didn't you think to yourself, if I don't run them over, God, this will be terrible. I'm going to kill 5 ducks.
I'd like to
Had
speak
no
to the
choice
host
in
at this
matter.
time. Is the host there?
yes.
How long do I got to talk to this?
It hurts.
This is
doesn't it?
one of my
It hurts,
callers.
because I'm
Well-
giving great points to you. You have no. I mean, I'm
Wait a minute, sir. No, you haven't made one point. You tell me you're working in the massage parlor blowing up those dolls.
It would have made more sense.
That's all I
to me,
need to know.
It would have made more sense to me if you had
Rick,
gotten out of your car and picked them up and served them at your restaurant, because at least it would have had a purpose instead of turning around and laughing at them.
Rick, thank you for your call. You made some very good points.
He made some good points, Phil.
No, but what we're missing here is, I think, what's called cruelty to animals.
No, hold on a minute. I am not. You don't understand that I was not trying to hurt those ducks. They were going across the street. Josh was in the car with me. I said, "Watch, Josh. Daddy's going to make the ducks scatter and fly away." And I opened up. I floored it basically for about 100 yards. There was nobody in the street.
You were on a private street?
Yes, I was. Now, what are you going to tell me? I should have been speeding on a private street?
Well, you shouldn't be.
Well, there was nobody out on the street, Phil. The point is I floored it, went toward the ducks. They did not do what I thought they would do, which is fly away. All right.
You thought ducklings would fly.
Yes. I ran over probably 6 or 7 of them. My instinct when I looked in the rearview mirror and saw about 6 or 7 ducks lying flat in the road was to laugh. When my son started to cry, I said to myself, his mother did this. because he can't have a couple of laughs over some ducks that didn't fly away. And the stupid look on their face was worth the price of admission alone.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686. Talk Radio's prodigal son. The Phil Hendry Show is back. 1-800-449-8686.
We got duck on the menu tonight?
Ted's of Beverly Hills.
Pretty funny.
Steakhouse, come on down.
You're on the air. You're on right now, Ted.
Come on down to Ted's of Beverly Hills for Father's Day. We've got prime rib, slow roasted, slow smoked for your pleasure.
Ted's, where you want to put our meat in your...
Ted Bell from Ted's of Beverly Hills, talking about parenting when fathers take over the parenting of their children. And fathers never take over the parenting of the son. It's always a co-parenting situation.
But I think that fathers need to become the primary influence in a boy's life especially, around 7 or 8. And I can see I got a lot of work to do with my son. But
yeah, well, I mean, I don't know that anybody's going to convince you that aiming for that bunch of ducks that was going across the street...
Bill, I thought they were going to fly away. I don't know how many times I need to say this to you, and I know you get it, but a lot of the people I'm talking to tonight at your show, wow, you know, and that one guy, what made you think they'll fly? I don't know, something about the wings? Good, sweet Christ. Phil, I'm a Christian. I don't think that's why Jesus got himself riveted, so that people would call a talk show and ask questions about why birds fly. Well, they got wings.
I don't know what that's got to do with your Christianity.
Well, the point is, I think that it's you know, people don't get that, you know, a father needs to take over, and my son starts bawling. It was funny.
Dead ducks are not funny to kids.
They're not funny to kids because their mothers have turned them into what they've turned them into, which I don't even want to think about.
1-800-449-8686. Natasha, you're on the Phil Hendry Show. Go ahead. Natasha?
Okay.
Go ahead, hon. You're on the air.
I think that the other caller has a serious problem with the boy's mother.
Well, you know, we've often argued about Josh. My wife, Marcy, you know how mothers are. They
I don't.
They want the boy to... Well, in our country, we...
No, don't say in our country. I'm here already 12 years, and I'm married to an American. And he has his children from another marriage, so I know.
Are you the stepmother to the kids?
Yes, I am.
All right, well, then you realize that here in America, we are constantly trying to battle the forces of gay society. And our sons are...
Well, wait a second.
Well, no, I just want my son to be able to occasionally see a duck get run over by a truck and not burst into tears as if he just saw someone hanged. You know, like, well, I don't know. Where are you from, ma'am?
I'm from Vienna, but I live in...
Oh, Austria? Okay, so
Vienna,
you've seen
Austria.
people, executed in a square or something like... Didn't they do that?
What do you mean executed in a square?
Where she's from. Haven't you seen people executed in the village square?
When was that, please? In the Second World War?
Okay, I don't know. I'm just...
Yeah,
where you're from,
you're
don't they
obviously
have...
not really up on the history.
Well, ma'am, where you're from, do you
That's
not have
Europe,
a village square?
Europe, Austria.
Yes, I know,
not
Europe.
South America. Or
Okay.
so.
Do you have a village square?
We have many village squares.
All right. Do they have gallows there?
Yes, they had in the 1800s.
Okay, so they would hang people when you were a little girl, right?
Yes, they...
In the
when I was a little girl.
1800s?
I don't think so. That
All right.
was a long time ago, maybe in another life.
So, Natasha, your point is that the little boy reacted appropriately by crying when he saw the ducks get killed.
I think that's what little children do. That has nothing to do with their mothers.
Can I ask you a question, Natasha? I'm interested. Where did your husband order you from?
What does that mean? Where did he order her from?
I'm assuming she's not a mail order bride. Are you, ma'am?
No, you don't order brides from Europe, okay?
You don't? Well, you ought to read some of the magazines I read because...
All right, I don't... This has got nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Obviously, he has a hatred against women.
No, I don't hate... Oh, my God, no, I don't hate...
It.
Are you kidding?
Are you teaching your little kid...
I I'm teaching
such a chauvinist pig, what you are?
Here's what I'm trying to teach my son. Number one, the
That's
appreciation.
That's what you do. The poor kid.
Ma'am,
Maybe it's better off is the mother.
He bit off his mother.
It's better off. The kid is better off with his
when
mother.
He's 7 years of age, the father... Now, here's what I'm trying to teach my son. An appreciation for a good, fast, hot car. An appreciation to be able to laugh in the face of death. An appreciation to butch up a little bit, tough up, and not cry. Otherwise...
Well, maybe you could do that a little bit differently. Take it out hunting,
That's a good point. Yeah, take him out hunting.
Oh, and purposely murder an animal. Are you people... You know, I got to ask myself... Where'd you get the lunatics on your show tonight, Phil? Because
what lunatics? You take the little boy hunting.
That's not. I didn't try to kill the ducks. You see, this lady now wants me to go out with my son and murder a duck.
Maybe the duck had a broken wing. You know.
That's a good point too.
Well, that's what I said. I thought they were sick. But let me tell you something. In America, what we do with our boys is we try to get them so that they can occasionally have a couple of laughs, even if there's pain involved. That's how they win on the football field. That's how they win in life. And when I ran those ducks over, sure, I knew it was going to hurt him, but I laughed to try to get him to see the humor in it. I said, look, Josh, look, they're all smashed. I said I had to go back with a shovel and serve them up.
I can't really believe that you're realizing you're ordered somehow from the radio station and purposely
I was ordered by the
crazy
radio
stuff because
no, I think
normal.
your husband ordered me from Vienna like he ordered you. Is that what you're trying to say?
All right, look, Ted, the point is your son was traumatized.
Yeah, and I took him back to his mama because that's what he wanted. And I can tell you, Natasha, please don't do that to your kids. Please. God.
What shouldn't I do to my kids, please?
All right. Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you, Phil.
Okay.
I don't speak Russian, so...
She's from Vienna.
Ain't that Russia?
No, it ain't.
Well, then the reading I've been doing is all wrong.
Yes.
Look, have you ever seen the cartoons where the guy gets an anvil dropped on him and he's as flat as a pancake?
Yeah.
As God is my witness, that's the way one of these ducks looked.
Well, how do you know, man?
Because I got out and looked at it. I put the car in reverse, and I wanted Josh to understand. But no, what did he want to do? He wanted to go home to his mama. No. No son of mine.
Here is Dave. Dave,
that's not going to fly.
Dave?
What?
Dave?
Hello?
You're on the air, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, is this guy actually, how big were these ducks?
Is he talking to me?
Yeah.
They're ducks.
No, how big were they?
I don't know. They're
Could you
ducks.
see them
What do you mean
clearly?
how big? I don't know how big. They were ducks. How
What
big
do you
is
mean
a
you don't
duck?
know how big?
How big is a duck?
You were driving the
How
car.
big is a
you see
duck?
the ducks crossing the road.
Have you ever seen a duck?
Yellow? Did they have feathers? I mean, could you see them clearly?
Hey, Dave?
Yeah.
Are you listening to anybody?
Am I listening to anybody?
Yeah, because you're just kind of going on here. Now, what was your question, Ted?
First, the guy asked me how big they were. Then he wants to know what color they were. What's your question?
My question is, could you tell how big the ducks were?
Have you ever seen a duck? That's how big they were. Okay, that's how big they were.
Man, we got so many ducks.
Yeah, okay. I bet you've never run one over either. That's how big they are.
Actually, I never have ran one over.
Yeah, well, I don't believe that.
Well, why would you call him a liar?
If he lives in Oregon, he must have killed a duck.
No, I haven't even ran a deer over yet. I I'll tell you what. You know how
well, you just moved up
slow
there?
down? It's called take your foot off the accelerator.
Apparently the guy hasn't been listening to your show, Phil, so let me recap it for him. I tried to drive through these ducks thinking they would fly. Okay, Dave? But that's what happens when you move to Oregon. Your IQ immediately kind of goes down a little bit, kind of the temperature of cold rain.
Really?
Your brain sort of begins to, gets too much. You get waterlogged.
So that's
All
the
right.
problem. I was wondering what was going on.
You wondered why you were so
I
stupid.
came from Washington, and I kind of wondered what was going on here.
Yeah.
So it's all
if
that
you came
rain
from
that's doing it to
Washington,
me?
if you came from Washington, then you just got smarter.
The Washingtonians are dumber than the Oregonians?
Oh, my God, yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Washington is as stupid as they get. So congratulations. The further south you get, the smarter you get.
So
when you get down here...
Okay, is this insult time?
Well, that's all this guy's got.
Well,
he doesn't have any argument.
The thing
he wants to know, how tall were the ducks? What color were they?
Well,
he lives in Oregon. He doesn't know what a duck looks like.
Your biggest problem was...
The point that we're trying to make here with you, Ted, is... Well, I don't know what this guy's point is. The point that I'm trying to make with you is that these ducks were obviously not able to fly. They were ducklings. Ducklings don't fly.
Well, I know that now.
Yeah, and if you think
is this guy still on the phone?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm still here. And if you think
feel free to contribute.
7?
Feel free to contribute something, Dave, anytime now.
It was your son 7.
Yeah, that's what I also said.
Oh, okay. And
yes, Mr.
Right.
Selective Listener.
Hey, and
all right, thanks a lot, Dave, because he's boring me too.
Yeah, I was.
And so are you. Get out of here.
Oh, wait a minute, you're not blowing me off. I'm the sponsor of the.
Yeah, you're the sponsor of nothing.
Really? I like that. That's a nice title.
Steakhouse, come on down.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ted Bell, the sponsor of nothing. Basically, Phil Hendry's show is a big zero.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You can't take it back now. I sponsor the Nothing Show. Bastard.
Here at Ted's, we want to put our meat in your...
The Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686. The Phil Hendry Show is back.
Wait a minute, we're done with the Ted Bell, but we're done with it.
I got something I want to say.
Of Beverly Hills Steakhouse, come on down.
Hey, all you people from Washington, when you go to Oregon, you've just gotten smarter by 20 IQ points. So if you want to get smart, I messed it up.
Yeah, you sure did.
Let me do it again.
No, you're not doing anything again. Take it off, bud.
He's responsible.
Going to do what he tells me.
You do what I tell you to do. You don't do what he tells you to do.
Play it again, bud.
Wait a second.
I'm going to have to kill your mic, Phil.
I told you.
Ted's of Beverly Hills Steakhouse, come on down.
Hey, all you people from Washington, when you go to Oregon, you get smarter by 20 IQ points. So save yourself, save your family, save your career. Go to Oregon. You idiot.
We want to put our meat in your...
All right, now I'm going to turn your mic back on, Phil.
You've been doing it. I've been trying. Don't ever turn my mic off, man, because that's going to get me. That'll tighten my jaws quicker than anything. Did Ted get out what he wanted to say?
Yeah.
Go south to Oregon. You get smarter by 20. Okay. 1-800-449-8686. So there's Ted and the story of the ducks. They can't fly, Ted. Ducklings can't fly. And neither can turkeys, now that I remember that old WKRP episode. You remember that one, man, where they dropped the turkeys as a Christmas promotion, as a Thanksgiving Day promotion? Gordon, whatever the hell his name was, the general manager of the station, was going to drop turkeys out of a helicopter. And what happened was the turkeys just hit the pavement. And the thing he says to the program director is, I swear to God, I thought turkeys could fly. That was their big WKRP Thanksgiving promotion. All right, 1-800-449-8686, The Phil Hendry Show. Our website at www.philhendryshow.com. Got some new stuff posted up there for you. By the way, there's a picture of me and Frank Bennett in December of 1978 broadcasting from Disneyland. And then right below that is Frank today as Fran Bennett.
Dueling cyclones, jackknives, they got eyes for your wife, and the blood that lives in her heart.
Yellow. Oh.
Cast myself towards infinity. Trust me, I had my reasons. Had a dress for every season, it was worth it. Pulled into town, relatively free of hassle. Secured a room at the castle, it paid for itself. Checked out my surroundings, headed down to Thornton Park. Find your way, discover that things are dark. Shadowy figures babbling on about typical bullshit. I wave bye to them in a modern way and increase my stay at the dock of the bay. Ruby, someone's coming. Approach with stealth, oh, it's just your precious American underground. And it is born of wealth with not a writer in the lot. Sapphires vie for your attention. Cheap dancers, they mean well in their way. But priest says please, can't stand my knees and can't bear her raven tresses caught up in a breeze like that. thirst hidden but near a series of visions. I won't repeat them here, I won't repeat them here. Typical me. I gave my cargo to the sea. I gave the water what it always wanted to be. Look to the west, oh look, it's no contest, proud Mary said as she lit the fuse. I wanted you, I wanted your blues. Your come to one end, the bad ones just go on forever. Isn't that what I just said? It is now and it is never. 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 Been known to appreciate the elegance of an empty room. Look, I made you this broom, a predicate warning to the sun. This night advances on. Shows me drawings, they're alright, an alternately dim and frightful waste. Now come on, honey, let's go outside. You disrupt the world's disorder just by virtue of your grace. You know, I didn't want to go, but leave I must, as as gratifying as this dust was.
Love this shit, man. Fucking love it.
Please don't wake me from this, my golden slumber. I am proud to be a part of this number.
No, this ain't Chris Norton. This is Dan Bejar of the band Destroyer and New Pornographers. But I'm changing it to Panda Bear because I like this song. I feel like fagging out. It's fag out time. Oh, man. Actually, dude, I don't just fag out, by the way. I have a lot of fucking kick-ass music, dude. A lot. In fact, I'm gonna say this, and this might blow your mind. So, everybody knows who Pink Floyd is, but did you know that there is a Pink Floyd album out there in Q Sound? Do you know what that means? There's a Pink Floyd album with Q Sound technology. Q Sound technology was the sound technology used in Street Fighter in the arcades. It's a very interesting kind of like, not quite surround, but sort of like, I guess I don't know how to explain it properly, so I won't even bother. But Q Sound, there's been quite a number of Q Sound albums. Madonna had a Q Sound album. Pink Floyd, and a few others. It's pretty interesting. It sounds different than what the actual albums sound like. A little bit. There's a little bit of a difference. Like the Pink Floyd is the Pulse Tour, so Comfortably Numb, the best guitar solo in probably human history, is in Q Sound. It's fucking great. I should play it. I love it. David Gilmour is fucking great. I just need a little bit of a break from Hendry. I've been listening to Hendry for like a week straight, dude. I haven't been listening to audiobooks and I haven't been listening to music. And I'm here alone at home now, so... Fucking Crusader King almost whacked me. We just heard a bit where Bud Dickman muted Hendry's mic so Ted Bell could get his advertisement in. Oh, man. Bud Dickman... If Bud Dickman was real, he'd be fucking the first murdered intern in radio history. The shit that he's pulled... One time, Phil took a swing at Bud Dickman and hit him, and Bud Dickman laughed at him and said, "What a pussy!" Oh, Jesus. Couldn't even do any damage to him. He wanted to beat the Tard, but he didn't have the strength to beat the Tard. It just bounced right off the Tard's metal head. I should probably chill a little bit on Hendry, don't you think, dude? Are you guys trying to get me banned? It's not your account from 2007, it's mine. He's gonna come gunning for me sometime. In fact, several people have already commented on my videos. They're like, dude, how the fuck has Hendry not came after you yet? And that is weird. I don't know why. I don't have an answer. But because he did go after me before on archive.org. Hendry has done 2 or 3 DMCAs on me already. But don't tell him I told you that. Alright, how about giving me one more gay song, okay? One more gay song. Here it is. Alright, I get one more gay song. Cannot get a good fucking quiver. I'm gonna check my main fucking character. I have not played him in a while. I'm not a techno guy or anything like that. Sometimes I just get down. What a fag. Alright. I just want to see this. This is pretty fucking good. I normally do 5.1, but I have my headphones on, so I'm going to do stereo for now. Oh, is it not showing chapters? It used to. Oh, this is a little different. Maybe I should update it. Oh, fuck. This is the Pulse Tour, Pink Floyd, Comfortably Numb. I'm gonna shut up. If you don't know and you've never seen this, this is probably the best guitar solo in the history of our species. And I don't say that lightly.
When I was a child, I I turned to look, but it was gone.